Coco Montoya, and you're logged on to guitar.com. Check it out. It wasn't anything that I learned from Albert where I walked up and say, Albert, tell me how that pentatonic, I don't have a pentatonic scale from anything. I don't know any of that stuff. I just listened. He says, just like this, all I can do is play it. Either you get it or you don't get it, you know? It's the only way. He didn't really have any kind of technical background to tell me what it is he does. It's just in him.
Now, he used a real weird tuning, too, didn't he?
Oh,
with capos?
Yeah, that's a hard thing to get around. He had an open F minor tuning, I believe. Made me tougher. I mean, to go into a band like that I personally idolized the guitar players from that band in the past, made it all that greater to me, and also put the pressure on me because, you know, my heroes were Peter Green, Mick Taylor, of course Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is like the reason why he picked one of these up. But you think it's great. I'm in the Bluesbreakers. This is incredible. Then it dawns on you that people are coming out to see who's the next guitar player in this band, and it puts a lot of pressure on you. So I learned how to deal with that. John helped me quite a bit, learning, you know, to find my own identity. When I first started playing with John, I remember him having a real good talk with me after a while, as I was trying hard to imitate either Eric or Peter or Mick. I was trying to do what was done on the record, and John didn't like it. Tom took me aside and said, you know, hey, you know, we're going to do Have You Heard. You're going to do your version of it. You know, Eric's not here tonight. It's up to you. You know, and it was good. It was good advice. You know, I didn't hire you to imitate these guys. I want you to. You know, I said, well, some of it's going to come out because they're my idols. You know, the guys that I studied and listened to, and you know, so there's a lot of them in me. You know, which I'm not ashamed of. I'm proud of it. You know, I'm really proud of that. You know, there's a lot of Albert Collins in my playing. Sure, I'm very proud of that.
When you were playing the drums behind Albert Collins, did you listen to him with an ear towards, I'm going to go home tonight and try to figure out what he did on the guitar?
Sometimes, but basically, I learned how to what I've been saying, learn how to read him, to read how he, just to go where you know where he's going without having it being said or written down or charted out. You just have this feeling you're in contact with him. You know his mannerisms. You know where he's going to go. Those are the things you concentrate on when you play with a lot of blues guys. You start learning where you can find out just where they're going and be right there with them without a word being said if you check out their mannerisms. And I think a lot of guys aren't getting that message, a lot of blues guys, the younger ones that are coming up. It's really neat when you play like behind Buddy Guy or somebody. If you watch him, he's giving you all the cues to where he's going all the time. But you have to watch. That's a good sideman that can do that.
You're talking about body language?
Yeah, body language. Just a nod. Sometimes a turn of the head will tell you. You can just see where they're going. You know, and that was what I learned with Albert. I think that's what a lot of the blues guys, a lot of the greats always had these players that would have that magic thing. I'm watching what you're doing. I know where you're going. He's going for the dismount. He's getting out now. We're going to stop the song. You know, oh, he wants a break here. It's amazing how you can do that. I stopped playing with Albert Collins in about 76, I'd say was the last time I was steady employed with Albert Collins. And just basically just thought the career was over, you know. I played blues and some of the old R&B, what I know is R&B, from like guys like Al Jackson, those kind of Buddy Mayall, those kind of drummers. And with the advent of funk and disco and stuff, I was pretty much left without a job. So I hung it up, you know, just hung it up and just went on, got a day job and just figured that was it for the music career, you know. And then I always played guitar as a secondary instrument, and just continued doing that for fun. And that's when Mayall discovered me and found me, and he brought me back into the business. Everything I've ever done musically has all been self-taught, pretty much. I mean, I go watch people play and try and emulate what they did, or just try and envision where they put their fingers. And that's the way I learned how to play guitar. It's the way I learned how to play drums in the old days. I didn't have any money, to take lessons. So that was the only way to do it, by ear. So picking up a guitar, being left-handed, and really having at that time, really nobody to really point things out to me. I picked it up left-handed. It felt natural to me. That's what I did. And by the time I had learned your basic chords and stuff like that, for me, I was well on my way. So
you started with a right-handed guitar.
Picking up right-handed guitars and playing on them. Somebody would put one down, I'd sneak over and mess with it, and that's how I ended up playing like this.
Did it make it more difficult to learn?
No, because you didn't know any better. You didn't know there was a left or right to it. It's kind of like to me the way I've always learned music and learned songs. It's quite by just, if nobody tells you can't do it that way, then it's fine. You can do anything you want to do. You'll find a way to accomplish it,
But if you go out to see people, they're not playing this way, so then everything looks kind of backwards.
I actually can read a right-handed player. I can't read a player who plays like this. Otis Rush were actually talking about that one time. We can't look at each other play because in our brains we're seeing a right-handed player.
Didn't Albert King play this way too?
Albert King, Otis Rush, a lot of people.
Dick Dale.
A lot of unsung heroes. There's a guy named Steve Samuels that not only plays this way, but he actually has no arm. He has a little nub. And he plays the greatest swing stuff that you ever heard in your life. Most of what I play in those songs, I do hire on other really good rhythm players to play on my albums. I don't keep any secrets. I tend to be very sparse in what I play rhythmically. I tend recording live. Playing live is one thing. You can get away with a lot of stuff, but on tape you can't, because I tend to play a little bit out of tune for some reason, the way I attack the strings or something when I do chording. So I don't do a lot of the rhythm tracks, but there's some I do. But it just depends on what it is. I use a lot of 3-string things that Albert Collins used to use a lot, stuff like that, just 3-string. That kind of stuff. Where a lot of people use a lot of chords. I like to chunk it out with just like a... It would sound better with a better amp. If I was doing a shuffle. The Albert Collins thing with the chorus effect, I use the, Jesse Ed Davis played the original. Kids, I mean, as a kid, as a young boy, when I went out, I made some mistakes and acted a fool, but I was so much into music. Luckily, that was my important. That was where my head was really at. I mean, I had a good time partying, but I think just telling everybody where you're coming from, what's expected from them. So if it's too much or it's not enough money, or if I'm too strict or whatever, well, let's stop it right here. Because when you get out on this road, it's serious business. It's making a living. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of places. You get to meet a lot of people. But it's a job. And the main job is the music. It comes first. With me, it always has. Music comes first. Take care of the gear. Make sure everything is taken care of. Then you can think about partying. Then you can think about going to having a beer or whatever you want to do. That's where I'm strict. I try and take care of my boys. I know what it's like to be a sideman. I do my damnedest to take care of my guys. because they work hard, and they're all better musicians than I am. That's why I got them, for them to make me sound good. So yeah, I think that anybody that's playing and leading a band is be straight shooter to you guys.